Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another wonderful episode of Medical University.
I am T.
And I am Kay. And we are not sick anymore.
We're not, for the most part.
I thought you're fine now.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I feel fine too.
You feel good?
I feel like Nosferatu.
Why?
Like something's messed up. Like something's up, but I'm coming. Like I'm here. I'm ready.
Was that Nosferatu?
He was fucked up, but he was coming.
Oh, he was coming all
And
right.
That's so I hope everyone's been good the past 2 weeks. I am so happy to be back and ready and pumped for this for this continuation of Metal Gear Solid 4. It's funny because you and I were talking offline. We were already talking about okay, wait, we gotta make sure we're on top of this. Like things are already getting a little confusing.
Yeah, I feel like 4, more than any other one, requires like a level of okay, so what is going on right now?
So I really wanted us, like I told T offline, we have to make sure we're keeping it up. We're crossing all our T's, dotting our I's. We do not want to confuse you or maybe more importantly, ourselves.
It's very possible that we might confuse ourselves.
I also want to say thank you everybody for messaging us, for the well wishes on our health. It was a little spooky for a minute, but I appreciate you all reaching out. As always, if you have if you have something you want to email us, questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at itstkandm@gmail.com. That is itstkandm@gmail.com. I will also say, I haven't done this before.
Oh.
I will say, pause this episode right now. And please, if you haven't, make sure you rate us on Spotify or Apple or wherever. Why not?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Why not? Let us know how we're doing. It actually is really nice to see number go up sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Anyway, T.
Helps the dopamine.
I need that.
We need that little drip sometimes.
So, T, it's been 2 weeks. It's been a couple days since we've been feeling 100%. What have you been up to?
I've been really just trying to keep it easy, keeping my recover.
I hear that.
I got into school though. I mean, I'm in a school now. I am a student. My big old self is a student.
Ooh, welcome back. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm going into a film program, and they're like one of those programs where it's like we're gonna need to see what you can do. And it's not that I don't have anything to show. It's just that I don't want to show the crap that I've done. Not to say that what I've done is crap. It's just that I want to elevate myself. So I want to do something.
Well, that's why you're going back to school.
Yeah. So I'm trying to make a visual cover letter, so to speak. And I'm trying to make it I don't know, not artsy. I guess a little artsy.
It is.
I don't
Because you've been
know.
telling me your inspirations are David Lynch and obviously Kojima and Sam Lake.
But I've also said that I love this the Neverita music video from Bad Bunny.
Tom likes a good jank.
It's not that I like jank per se. It's the fact that when someone does jank with confidence and they do it well and with taste, I love it. There's a difference between someone who has a janky music video, but it's the best that they could do, versus someone who has a janky music video and that's the least that they could do.
That was the choice.
It was a creative choice, and you could tell sometimes, and that it's a fine line, I admit, which is probably why I'm not going to do it for my entry level film school. I want to show a little bit more effort, but anyway, I feel like I'm getting a little off course.
You're going to be a very interesting student, and I'm happy you're going back. And I'm happy, as always, I love when people are creative. I love supporting friends and family, and I'm excited for you for wanting to expand your skill set and for going back. That's really cool, T.
Thanks.
That's really cool. I also will say some people have reached out to us talking about their own podcasts and their own creative endeavors. Live your life. If you're able to, of course, there's bills. We're all adults. If you're able to do something, a hobby, or if you're able to financially afford some creative endeavor, why not?
Yeah.
Like really, just we got one life to live. Just do what you can. So I'm proud of you, T.
Thanks.
Probably because this was a big step. I know. It's just funny too thinking about like your inspirations being all these like kooky, like essentially weirdos. I'm like, yeah, that's T, my weirdo too.
I like the weirdos. No, it's just that like I like people who look at the world that we're in and they don't fit in themselves and they create something for themselves. Like for something for them in their space. And from there they develop a community for people who are kind of like them. And I like stuff like that, you know?
Is that what we've created here?
Uh, for Metal Gear dorks, yeah.
There's a bunch of weirdos here together.
It's a bunch of weirdos and dorks.
Welcome.
Military aficionados, I guess.
No, we got a cool little crew. Cool little crew. I love talking to everybody. Thank you all for, engaging with us. That's why we do it. It's fun to yap, but it's fun to yap together.
I agree.
Speaking of yapping and talking specifically about Kojima and Metal Gear, we got a new Snake Eater opening. I think it was last week.
Yeah, I believe it was last week. There was like a Konami. What is that series called? They knocked off our trademark.
Yeah, what is it?
Like okay, guys, people who are listening, if you line up the dates when we just started Metal Gear University, like a week or two after, I'm not even fucking kidding, like Konami and David Hayter released like a video that was like their mission statement was like our mission statement.
It was like the Legacy series, I think it's called.
And I was like, these motherfuckers, they fucked us.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, and I was like, we're here to explain the series. And
like, you son of a bitch. Now, thankfully, they haven't really been doing that.
We have, though.
We have. Admittedly, what they've been doing, they've been just kind of like hyping up Delta.
And it's cool. They're actually bringing in a lot of the community. Like, we've been seeing some people that like we're familiar with. We've crossed paths with, and we've been seeing. They've been invited to these showcases and to discuss the series at large. Cynthia Harrell was there.
Yeah, it was so cool. She re-recorded Snake Eater for Delta.
It's her voice like a fine wine. It just, you can hear the maturity, the age in it, and it's so good. It's so good. What do you think about the opening? Because it's just the first time, Kojima was always very much like a part of all the visual aspects of a trailer.
I do enjoy seeing like the visual aspects of this game. For someone like me coming back into this game and seeing everything that's there, I don't necessarily feel like I'm being spoiled as much, but I feel like for new players, seeing some of the scenes in there might be almost like spoiler material.
Okay.
Like, that scene where like Snake is missing the eye and he's running down the sewer pipe with Ocelot chasing him. So I don't know if I might be a little overtly critical on that front.
That's fair.
But it looks great. I have no complaints. Cynthia Harrell sounds great. I'd have to hear it a couple more times. I don't know which track I prefer.
Okay.
Well, as of right now, what would you say you like better?
I don't know. It's nothing like hearing it the first time.
I agree. Like, there's admittedly a lot of nostalgia when it comes with like the older version of Snake Eater.
100%.
But I could see the new one like, growing on me.
I think when we pop in the disc and play for the first time, I think that'll be the real, impression we'll get. Actually sitting down with it.
Yeah.
Headphones on. I think maybe then we'll be able to really kind of have a thought towards it, a critique towards it. But I'm excited.
Me too.
It's coming out in
August.
In August.
Yeah.
August. And right before that, perfect timing, Death Stranding 2 is coming out like a month earlier, no? 2 months earlier?
This month.
Oh, you're going to just say when we're recording? Well, this will be released in June, so yeah, it's coming out this month.
Yeah. You don't have to like shout us out like that. We record responsibly, okay?
Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, how we're so responsible in our... It's like, yeah, we have 2 weeks to do this thing.
We definitely don't wait.
We don't wait until like the last day or two to do this.
Death Stranding's coming out. I'm excited.
Yeah.
We're gonna stream it, but you're gonna be playing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming it. I feel like for the sake of time, because I don't want to like clog up all of my streams with doing Death Stranding nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm gonna do like the main missions during like streams.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna do delivery side hustles while I'm on my own time. That's my personal thing that I'm gonna do.
I mean, I think that's a good option because you're gonna have to be ready for when Delta comes out.
Oh.
So I can imagine you're probably gonna like just stream that until you see everything in the game.
Man, it's gonna be a busy summer for me. Yeah. It's gonna be a very busy summer for me.
Busy but good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited too.
Mm-hmm. Well, T, so much to be said, but I'm ready to talk about Metal Gear Solid 4. Can we continue?
Yeah, but first, you know that there's a pop quiz, right?
How could I forget?
Yeah, how could you forget? So, let's dive right into it. All right, Kay.
Okay.
I have devised 4 questions for you based on our last episode about Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay, I'm ready.
You sound very confident.
I'm back, baby.
All right, we'll see. We'll see how sick you are. Question number 1. What's Colonel Campbell's job currently?
First of all, he's not a colonel anymore.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
You're wrong.
No, Snake says it out of respect. I say it out of respect. You respect our veterans. We respect veterans in the side. Anyway.
Yeah, happy Memorial Day.
What is Campbell's current job? We're not getting derailed here.
He's on the UN Security Council. Like, actually.
That is correct.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Question number 2. Why is the UN Security Council hiring a terrorist group?
Who's the terrorist group?
Philanthropy.
Snake and Otacon?
I know we like them, but in the world of Metal Gear, they are a terrorist group.
So they were hired. They were tasked by Colonel Campbell to basically find Liquid and kill him?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ding ding.
You did it.
Thank
Correct.
You.
True or false? It is totally okay. Hey, let me finish.
Sorry.
It is totally okay that Campbell and the UN are doing this.
Trying to find and kill Liquid?
Yeah.
It's totally okay. No, it's false. It's not. It's just like a secret. It's a covert operation.
Yes.
So.
Because
Liquid's not doing anything wrong, essentially.
Essentially, yeah. He's an asshole, but he's kind of playing by the rules.
Exactly. Because the thing is that they found that the PMC groups there's a couple of them, like 5, the top 5, I think. And they're under like an umbrella corporation. And that corporation is run by Liquid.
Yeah.
And the UN, or the US, or Colonel don't like that.
Yeah. And they like kind of suspect that he might be up to something. And they don't know what, but they're just like, we gotta take this out.
So they're operating on a rumor.
Yeah.
Wow. So false. That's.
I know it's not great, but to be fair, Liquid is kind of a dick.
Yeah,
but he is kind of a dick.
So does he deserve to die?
Well, I don't know. It's subjective, isn't it? I mean, if we're calling Snake and Otacon terrorists, then we could just go willy nilly here. You are correct, by the way. Question number 4. Why did Drebin have to inject Snake with a new batch of nanomachines?
Oh, he had to do that because Snake's current nanomachines are from a previous generation. So he wouldn't be able to access the guns that are in the field because the guns are under like an ID lock that's able to be like used through your nanomachines, right? And so the new nanomachines would be able to help overcome that like technical thing.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
I'll take half points.
No, you were right.
So Snake's already had nanomachines in his body, but they're older.
Yeah, they were probably from when he was
like in Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear Solid 2. Maybe he had a few updates here and there, but he's clearly been out of the game.
So did Drebin give him some or a lot? Like,
I believe he gave him nanomachines that would be able for him to use weapons. Like he's not in like the system per se, but it's more or less a workaround for him to be able to pick up and use guns.
question: do you have to keep getting like shots for the nanomachine? Like, is this something you have to come every month, like allergy shots or some shit?
You know, that's a good question. I think, given that Snake has nanomachines that are out of date, the logic would mean
That they're
that
outdating.
you would have to get a refresher every now and then, right?
Yeah. So
Do you think that you would have to get like
to get like,
literal new nanomachines, or you can just get like an update? Like,
but then how would they update? It'd be like little things going to the ones in your
I
body.
don't know, you like hook up the Wi-Fi or something.
Or what if it's like, you know how like your body, you know, it's going. Well, nanomachines replace blood. Was that the whole shit?
For Raiden's
For
case,
Raiden. So would it be that like your body kind of like disintegrates it, or like it kind of like, you know, your body?
oh, like it just breaks down after a while.
Thank you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
the word.
yeah.
So
Okay,
maybe...
that could be it. That could be it.
Okay, anyway. Okay,
You are correct.
Thank you. Let's go. I feel like these questions are gonna get harder, so I am grateful. I got 4 out of 4.
I knew you would.
Thank you, T. Thank you, T. Are you ready to jump into Metal Gear Solid 4?
I am definitely ready to jump into Metal Gear Solid 4.
Let's begin the episode. So, T.
Yes, K.
Last we left off, Old Snake. I'm gonna call him Old Snake because he's old.
Wow.
He just met Drebin, and Drebin kind of explained the whole system of the way he gets around these ID tagged weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And he just injected Snake with some new nanomachines. It didn't seem like it was just like a little like beep, okay, now you can use these guns that I've unlocked, right?
Yeah, it definitely has the makings of like getting a tattoo from some guy in a back alleyway.
I think that's the perfect way to do it. Like, it's not you're not getting like the cream of the crop nanomachines. It's like some little back alley shit.
Like you are like, it's a tattoo. Yeah.
Did Snake approve of getting injected?
He did.
Okay.
I mean, like he was iffy about it, but he kind of was just like, I guess.
Do you think Snake would have done that had he not be in this current state of accelerated aging?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, is he at a point where he's just like,
you know, maybe.
Because it's giving very much, I don't care anymore, but I do care.
I guess, like, Snake is kind of given off a vibe of, not that he doesn't have any self-preservation instincts. It's just like, I'm on my way out.
Yes, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna help me in the meantime. What happens after? Oh,
I mean, they say he's got a year, so it's like, what? Who gives a shit? Yeah. Okay.
Oh. Well, at least on this point, Drebin. It's sad because I think initially, even Otacon says like we don't know this guy, and your instinct is to be like he's a bad guy, but he's given us nothing yet to be critical of. This is just honestly a man who's capitalizing off the current system.
Yeah.
He's a capitalist, making money. And there's more of him out there.
Yeah, he's a part of like some sort of like underground movement.
Arms dealership, right?
The Drebins.
So yeah, he's like Drebin. Oh yeah, his name is like Drebin what?
893.
More of you all over the world. Not that I ever met any of them personally. Me, I'm Drebin number 893.
893.
Oh, that should have been a pop quiz question.
Oh,
well,
maybe.
it's Drebin 893.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Take notes.
So I also kind of wanted to also reiterate the world that Old Snake is in right now.
Okay.
So in previous games, it's always Snake infiltrating an established base. We think of Shadow Moses, Raiden and Snake infiltrating the tanker. These ships in 3, you're kind of going in to infiltrate Vulcan's base.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first game where you are just like dropped into an active war zone. And it's not even just an active war zone, it is like a dilapidated city.
Yeah. No, this is a game in the series that is very unique in that sense. Like, even in games that we're gonna cover in the future, like no other Metal Gear game is doing things like this game is doing. It's very unique.
It's you're on an infiltration mission, but you're actively seeing a war happen, and enemies for the most part, like they're not even attack. Like their main objective is not to get you.
Yeah, their objective is to kill the other side. But if they see you and you haven't like really established that you're cool with them, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this is like another guy."
Yeah, you're not the main focus, but you're also still like
You're
potentially enemy.
yeah, you're an alien. So unless you establish yourself, people are gonna be gunning for you.
And that's the cool thing because you can essentially pick a side in this game.
Yeah, although like the game admittedly kind of steers you to side with the rebel-esque forces
How so?
when you're going from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times the people that are in the way are people that are on the rebel side.
That are in their way, like in the way of you.
Yeah, like for example, when we were on our way to see Drebin,
Okay.
we went underground and went through the like little resistance base.
I see. Okay.
So if you did not pick that side would see you in their little base and be like,
Oh.
we got to take this guy out.
You're actively
Yeah.
is engaging with them.
However, if you chose to be on their side, if you're cool with them, this part of the game, it's just a hallway you run through. Like it's just it's so benign.
Okay, so yeah, the game definitely is kind of like, hey, here's an easy way to navigate this area.
Yeah, and even on a narrative aspect, the big PMCs, the big boys, they're all under like Liquid's LLC, I guess. So even like on a narrative standpoint, Snake really wouldn't want to be cool with those groups either.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's kind of like, yeah, there's a number of reasons why you would side with this rebel group. In a sense, too, like Snake and Otacon are the rebel group.
Oh, they're the ultimate rebels.
And with this game, there's no formal way to be a part of this rebel group. It's like it's no formal cutscene or
No.
It's a whole little side quest you go on.
It-
What do you essentially do?
You just partake in combat
Mm-hmm.
and you start taking down members of what was this PMC called again? Praying Mantis. You take down members of Praying Mantis. You could even go as far as to like win all out battles
That
like-
are happening?
Like there are certain zones that are like active war zones. If you fight in these war zones long enough, you could end the conflict in this zone.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty neat.
Mhm.
And then, too, by doing so, these soldiers, the rebel group, see you.
Oh, they see you as like a war hero. You're like you are cool, man.
They see you. They see you as a war hero, and you're actively like it's. I think part of like being like picking a side, it has to be like seen. They
Yeah.
have to see you do it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool, and it just helps you in the game. Like you said, it's the way the story beats hit. You're going to be encountering the rebel group a lot more.
So, upon meeting Drebin, we exit and we're on our way to see Rat Patrol Team 01.
Okay.
Otacon is like the rendezvous point is like north. You got to make your way through like a collapsed building.
This everything's disastrous. This terrain, it is not only like this like disheveled, not even disheveled, like burnt down, broken buildings, but like there's bodies everywhere.
Yeah, it sucks. And there are points where like things are like collapsing in around you. You see soldiers just like die from like sniper fire and stuff.
I don't think we've seen anything this intense and bloody. I want to say since like when you know how in before you meet Gray Fox, before you meet Vamp, that's the cinematic shot of like a bloody hallway and then like the voices screaming and you're kind of almost like pointed to be fearful of what's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
This whole area, it's like that on like a larger scale to me.
Yeah. Those two examples are like, they're almost closer to like a horror movie. And with this, it's showing like the reality of like what a war zone would be, and like how that could be horrific as well.
And it's funny because you call those two like horror films, but this itself you wouldn't see it as horror.
I mean, like, I'm thinking especially with Vamp and Gray Fox, like the way it's shot and the music that's played, it's almost like spooky almost. With this, it's more so like Saving Private Ryan.
But it's funny because it's the same fear.
Oh yeah, because like, I mean, I have never been, but I could safely assume that being in an active war zone is probably the scariest thing ever. So
it's real.
Yeah, it like that is like real horror, you know?
So I know, I just think it's interesting too. It's like this is the closest we'll get to those kind of like feelings, like before meeting Vamp, before meeting Gray Fox, the mass casualties. But we don't see it as horror. It's just like it's just part of war.
It's life, baby.
It's life.
Yeah.
And I think too, understanding how nanomachines work and how these nanomachines so specifically monitor and regulate these soldiers' behaviors, they're probably not even fearful either, or they don't.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about because we, the player, and Snake are looking at this and like, oh man, this sucks. And if you're an active participant, like either a praying mantis or a rebel, they're probably like,
okay,
like
Tuesday,
clocking in, clocking out. That's it.
It's a game.
Yeah,
it's a game. What's funny, talking about nanomachines, with Snake, because he got a nice little boost of nanomachines to access these weapons, but with the current nanomachines he has prior to Drebin's injection, they're not that great because Snake physically feels like achy at times.
I mean, I guess nanomachines can't do everything. He's still an old man,
and that I guess the suit isn't perfect.
He's got that lower back pain. If this suit can like be like the ultimate camouflage system and be a muscle suit, couldn't Otacon introduce like some sort of like back massager component?
Some little like pain relief, like Bengay, icy hot,
something like that, to help him out a little, man. He's like, what, physically in his like late 60s, early 70s or something? Like give a guy a break.
Like in the game, if you crouch too long, like his lower back, he's wincing.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
rubbing it.
He like rubs it and like pats it and stuff.
So, is there anything else that happens? I'm trying to remember any other like physical signs that he's just not doing well.
Offhand, I think that might be it for this point.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Anyway, okay. So, as always with these games, you gotta go from point A to point B to figure out what's happening next. On your way, Snake finds himself a new way to, I guess, camouflage beyond just his suit.
Oh yeah, because when he exits this collapsed building, he is greeted by a soldier inspecting this barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like somebody's shitting in the barrel. And this soldier's walking up to it and he's like, yo, what's going on? What is this?
You just hear little farts, little toots.
And then you just hear, I'm not done yet. Wait. And then the soldier turns over this barrel and then you see what is safe to assume is Johnny.
Oh, that's a core little character.
He's somehow still alive. I don't know how he's doing it.
I like how we get a little introduction to him by a little white butt crack, just in a barrel. Why would you be in the barrel that you're pooping in?
Privacy.
I guess. Yeah, that is true. It's just rough.
It is a little rough because like you're in there like you're fermenting with your own sewage. That sucks.
So he's having stomach issues, and a soldier from the well, we don't even know. It's Johnny. We don't know what Johnny's doing here.
Yeah.
But he's obviously having stomach issues, and he's being, after the soldier removes the barrel, he's being chased away.
With his pants down.
With his pants
That's
down.
so embarrassing.
But that is interesting that this character's brought back. We had him in 3, right? We had
Well, his daddy or his granddaddy was in 3.
Must have been, right? So
yeah, no, Johnny would be dumb old if that was him.
But we have this like IBS soldier in this active war zone.
Yeah, so Snake picks up this barrel. I hope he kind of used like a couple of Clorox wipes and just wiped it down a little bit.
Maybe the Mark II has a little bit.
Oh, maybe the Mark II had a little bit of sanitizing wipes.
Or spray.
And this is Snake's new form of hiding, so to speak. Now, you could still get like a cardboard box in this game, but like the game is like, no, this is new hotness.
Yeah, the shut up barrel.
I mean, the barrel is actually kind of cool because with the barrel, you could tip yourself over and like roll around and you can knock out enemies. It's kind of cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So, upon picking up this barrel, I would assume that Snake utilized it at some point. He's sneaking around and he finds his way into the building where Rat Patrol is.
Oh, the rendezvous point?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, they're on the top level. And while Snake is making his way up, the whole thing is just filled with booby traps.
Oh, so they don't want to be found?
Probably not, no.
Okay.
It's filled with mines, sleeping mines. It's got lasers. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that is saying, leave.
It's interesting because if I was a soldier, if I didn't already die by the booby traps, you'd be like, what is in here?
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of like, and to me, inviting in a sense. Like, what is here? All these other buildings are burnt down and destroyed, but this one,
there's something here.
It's protecting something.
That's true. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff going on, so maybe like you're not thinking too hard about it.
Fair. It's cool to have this section of the game because you can use the Mark II to explore, no?
Yeah, you could use the Mark II to scout ahead. I mean, you could do it in like other sections too. The Mark II is very underutilized in my opinion.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, because like when you get the Mark II, it's like a really good scouting tool. You could use it to collect equipment. You could even use it to knock out enemies sometimes. It's really, really cool.
And it turns invisible.
It turns invisible.
It's literally a camera going ahead in the level.
Yeah. And then when you control it, if you look at Snake while you got the Mark II equipped, he's holding a PS3 controller as it's being used.
That's kind of cute.
Could you say that this was predicting the what was that submarine called? The Titan?
Kojima
predicted that things would be powered by game controllers.
What, Titanfall? It's not Titanfall. That's a game.
No, I think it was called Titan 1.
Man,
the Titanic thing. You know what? You guys know what I'm talking about.
They were using like an Xbox controller.
No, they were using like an off-brand thing
to control the submarine.
Yes.
Got you.
Anyway,
R.I.P. to those guys. Jeez Louise. But yeah, Kojima was a prophet. Not only that, the Solid Eye is also helpful.
Oh, Solid Eye is great. There's a function that kind of it's like a night vision mode, but it also doubles as like seeing little things in the environment that are worth paying an interest to.
Do they like light up?
Yeah, so you could see mines much easier. You could see enemies much easier, and utilize that. Or you want to be hardcore about it. I guess you could just
navigate it.
You could just raw dog it, as the kids would say.
That's how I played. No skill.
So, well, somehow, some way,
Crystal makes it up there.
Crystal makes it up. Controlling Snake, she makes it up. And you get to like the penthouse or I guess it would be the penthouse.
Yeah, the top floor.
Penthouse, top floor. You guys know what I mean.
A locked door you encounter. You're like, oh, okay.
So you enter through this door. And upon going through it, Snake gets like fucking jumped.
He's ambushed. Which is
by Johnny, of all people.
The guy that was pooping.
That's insulting. I would be insulted if I was Snake.
Snake.
All right.
I mean, you think he would, but I feel like Snake knows he has the upper hand.
That's true because he's very cool about it. Johnny is like very, very like
nervous.
Like, I mean, like I'd be kind of nervous too. I mean, I would be nervous holding up anybody, but like, I don't know, seeing this very imposing, admittedly old man, but still imposing dude in a crazy sneaking suit.
I mean, it's a strong ass mustache too. He has. I'd be nervous.
It's very thick.
He's also probably nervous because one, they're holed up in the penthouse behind booby traps.
And it's like, how the hell did you get here?
Exactly. Yeah, he came in with a gun. Like he came in knowing he's looking for something.
So
also Johnny, that's the same Johnny, so we know he got tummy ache too.
Yeah, he got little poopy pants.
Terrible.
So Snake very coolly just puts his gun on the floor and he's like,
"You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie."
Careful, I'm no rookie. I'm a 10-year vet.
Yeah, you got it. It's the callback to like the last game. You remember when he did the same thing with Meryl?
Oh yeah, because she was
a little callback. So Johnny falls for it. He actually like looks at the safety. He's like, "Oh, did I?" And then in that moment, Snake just like flips Johnny over, takes the gun, and just has control of the situation.
He removes. What do you say? He's like CQC.
Yeah, he CQC'd Johnny onto the floor, and then that's when someone else pops up. And it's a familiar voice, but they have like a balaclava on them. So it sounds familiar. And
she recognizes that it's CQC.
Yes. And then she calls him like
CQC, real big boss, huh?
And I guess maybe you could think like he kind of looks like Big Boss in a way.
You think that's what she's referencing?
No, in my honest opinion, I think she's more like
you're the head honcho.
Like oh, you're doing CQC like the guy who did it. You know what I mean? Like
you're him.
I feel like it's the equivalent of somebody calling Kobe before you sink like a shot. You know what I mean?
Yes. I hear you. But this woman is Meryl.
Wow.
It's Meryl in all her now HD glory.
Get out of here.
Last time we saw her,
she was all pixelated. You couldn't even see her eyes. They were all like little black little squares.
It was also 9 years ago. In game time and basically real lifetime.
I think that was genuinely like a creative decision. Because like the span of time between Metal Gear 1 and 4 is more or less the same amount of time in real life. Which I think is like cool. Because like for players who have been in it since 1, it's like you're kind of experiencing time
they're growing. Yeah, they're growing with you.
Yeah.
And I think that also kind of shows just how much Snake is aging too. Because if we see Meryl, and it's been 9 years since we first met her, since Shadow Moses?
Yeah.
And then she looks great. She looks young still. I think she might be in her late 20s.
Yeah, I think late 20s.
Late 20s. Which means Snake ideally would probably be in his late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
And looks twice that.
Yep.
And so even Meryl, she's like, Snake, like, what happened to your face? And that's the first thing she essentially says to him.
It kind of reminds me of Red Letter Media. There was like an old meme involving them. There was like, what's wrong with your face? It's ancient meme. I'm dating myself. Okay. Anyway. Then Snake kind of discloses it's like, yeah, I'm just getting old really quick. I don't know what it is. And, you know, it's a sad moment. Everyone's sad.
They have a brief moment too, which I thought was interesting, in which she like reaches for his face and he like immediately just moves away, disregards that a moment of connection.
He's got a man at home. He can't be doing this sort of thing.
Happy Pride Month. We didn't even say Happy Pride. But yeah, he got a man at home. But also too though, it's to me it was a callback to when they first met, and it was kind of like she was like looking up to Snake. She always wanted to have Snake,
like his approval. Yeah.
And it's it's almost too. She wanted his approval back then, but now she's the one trying to console him. So it's like it's a bid for attention, but it's also a way for her to kind of like establish some kind of comfort. And he's just like, no.
Like I don't want that, and I don't need that right now.
So yeah, I don't want that, but I think too for her it could be like, oh, like if she's still feeling a type of way about him, he still doesn't want me.
Yeah.
So very layered.
Yeah, there's a lot going on between them.
But who would have guessed Meryl was the UN informant that Colonel spoke of?
I mean, it's a very interesting coincidence.
Someone we already know, an established character.
I mean, my conspiracy brain would say that this is somehow planned, but I don't think so. That's impossible.
What's planned?
That Meryl is there, but there's no evidence of that.
Yet. Yeah. Anyway, we don't know. Okay.
We don't know.
We don't know. Okay. So anyway, she is a UN informant that Colonel said you're to me. Remember, your cover, and this is what Snake also tells her. She's like, so you're the inspector that the UN is sending? And he's like, yeah, I'm here to assess, the threat. The UN wants me to assess the impact and effects of PMCs on their refugee protection efforts. That's obviously what I'm doing here. And she's like,
Really? Because I heard an interesting rumor. Word around town is that somebody's trying to off Liquid. And, it's interesting that Solid Snake is here.
Because I heard a rumor there's an assassin out there targeting their leader.
Well, that's some rumor. I'm only here because the UN wants me to assess the impact and effects of PMCs on their refugee protection efforts.
That's all?
More than enough for a retired vet like me.
Nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just part of this terrorist group, and we're working with the UN right now. Like, Meryl's no dummy. She's also like a 10-year vet now. She's been in, like, not the system. She's been in this shit for years now.
I feel like it's like what Frodo did in like Lord of the Rings. It's like, all right then, keep your secrets.
Yeah, I think she's like squinting her eyes, but she's not saying anything. And I think too, part of it is that she hasn't seen Snake for so long. There's a moment where she opens up to him. Snake has nothing to say, but she's like, I haven't seen you in so long. You left the unit one day. You left the unit. I've been doing this. I'm still here. I think of my crew. I think about Foxhound. And like, I think about you. And like she was saying, like when she was younger, she's past it now.
Yeah. She's totally over it.
But it's the first thing she brings up when he walks in.
Exactly.
But she's like, I used to just want you to turn around and look at me and accept me. And I never got that. I just want you to see me. But I'm tired of playing these little love games.
In Snake's defense, he was figuring himself out. Happy Pride, everybody.
At this point, too, she does a second attempt. Because, they're discussing that. They're discussing kind of what Liquid's been up to. And there's a brief moment where she shows him, like, oh, hey, by the way, Liquid Ocelot, has been with this woman. We don't really know who she is. She doesn't look like a soldier. But she's here. Here's a picture we have. And she gives Snake this photo they have of this woman, and you could sadly see that Snake's eyesight is failing him.
Yeah, if you press L1, you could see Snake's perspective. And he does that thing that older people do, where you got to hold the paper a little bit further away from you to see it clearly. And Meryl notices this, and she's like, oh, fuck.
And she goes to put her hand on his shoulder, and he just, like, moves out of the way of it. So, I think, for Snake, he doesn't want to be pitied.
Yeah.
I think for her, though, she's taking it personal.
Yeah.
I don't think she sees it as him, because they just met again. So her only context for their relationship is him leaving her, quote unquote. So I think it's just interesting. They're both kind of operating. They're like two ships in the night. They're on the same path, but they're not together.
Yeah. it's just been so much time. They're two completely different people now.
Very, very sad. And Meryl was completely different too. Like she is like Johnny, but better. She's a veteran.
Yeah, she's very competent in her own right. She's the head of her unit.
Rat Patrol Team 01.
First hounds, now rats.
And her team is under what's called the CID. So the Criminal Investigation Department.
Oh. And they monitor PMC activity, right?
They're kind of like the police of the war.
I like the way I understand it, it's like they're like the police or like even like referees. Like Meryl kind of.
So it's all a game.
Kind of in a sense. Like how Meryl explains it is like the SOP system that monitors pretty much everything that's going on in a war zone.
Okay.
It does like 90% of the job. But then there's that little 10% that is like the little nitty-gritty stuff. And then that's where Meryl and her team comes in to monitor those activities. Stuff like disobeying orders or disorderly conduct, stuff like that. And that's when Meryl is like, hey, cool it. You have to kill people like
the fair way.
Properly.
Let's make sure this war is done fairly. It's such a weird little role she has, but she's in there.
Yeah, that's her job. It's a weird job, but that's her job. It's okay. Who's in Rat Patrol?
So it's Meryl. It's Ed, who's this radio man and sniper. It's Jonathan, who...
He has like this interesting haircut. It's like a mohawk that in the back, it's like shaved, so it looks like an exclamation point.
And then there's Johnny, or Akiba, that they call him.
Yeah.
So it's the four of them in this, Rat Patrol 1 unit.
And from what I understand, Johnny, aka Akiba, is that nickname comes from like basically the weeb dork center of the world in Japan.
Oh, is he like a man of culture as well?
Oh, he is a man of culture. Tips fedora.
So, and they haven't said it outright, but the way Meryl treats him, he's like the weakest link.
Oh, without a doubt, he's the weakest link. In every sense of the word, he's the weakest.
The entirety of this cutscene where Snake and Meryl are reconnecting, he has a stomachache. His stomach is gurgling. He's running.
It's kind of funny because, like, in past Metal Gear games, every time we've seen Johnny, he's had stomach issues. But I feel like in this game, it is cranked up to like 11. Like he is constantly shitting.
I mean, he's the only one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He is the only one.
Who's to know? Anyway, so as part of Meryl's job, she not only is being a referee for the war, she's also she has access to the system that monitors the nanomachines.
Yeah. So if anybody breaks the rules, she could radio in and be like, hey, turn off their guns, and then they're done. So she's basically saying if Liquid does anything kind of crazy, that they could just end it before it starts.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not even really too concerned that Liquid is even a presence. Because in her mind, it's like, yeah, he's a dick, but like he's a threat that we have under our thumb. So there's really not a real issue here.
What is the conversation like? If Snake is in there assessing the threat, why would Liquid come up at all?
Well, Meryl was the one that was like, oh, Liquid is here.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the head of like all these major all these major PMC groups.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh, this is kind of important. He's like kind of has a monopoly here. She radios that in to Campbell. Campbell talks to Snake. Snake comes in, meets up with Meryl. That's basically what's happening right now.
So what's funny, she's kept in the dark.
Yeah.
By her own uncle/father.
Yeah. And Snake brings up that Campbell was the one that like talked to Snake.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, he put you up to this?
They have not, mended their relationship. I mean, back in Metal Gear Solid 1, I don't think we're given, like, if you pick the true ending, she doesn't find out that he's her father yet, right?
I mean, in canon, Campbell must have told her after the mission,
that's
but
what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because like if you choose the ending where Meryl dies, that's when that's when Colonel discloses that he's the real father. So it's safe to assume that Campbell,
between
1
game.
and 4, discloses it, and Meryl did not like that because basically her life was a lie.
Yeah, you have this basically philandering man, because it was the brother of her father, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Kind of messed up.
So she still has anger towards that. And, when she finds out that Colonel's still involved, so she's in a way still directly impacted by him and his choices, or even just in conversation with him, she gets visibly upset, gets up, like.
Yeah, she gets visibly upset, and she gets a little emotional about it. And the funny thing is, she punches a wall, and then you hear something.
Little chime.
A little interesting like chime, like you said. And then all of a sudden, like out of nowhere, she calms down. And the game doesn't necessarily like spell it out loud for you, which is interesting because 4 does that a lot. But what happened is that the nanomachines calmed her down. And then she's like, okay, I'm ready to have this conversation now. But she also is not over this.
It's just she's regulated.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the system does. It doesn't really take away your personality. It optimizes who you are.
Yeah. So she talks to Snake, and she's like, that he found a new wife, right? And Snake's like, oh yeah, really? And she's like, yeah, she's about my age.
And she has a kid.
And oh, that's bad. That's kind of crazy.
It's not helping their relationship at all.
Like, damn, Colonel. I didn't know you were like that, bro.
He a little smooth with his shit. And also taking in a woman with a kid, so.
I thought, well, it sounds like that he gave her that kid.
I thought she said it. Oh, I assume. Ooh. Yikes. Damn, Colonel. Yeah, their relationship is a work in progress. But Meryl, I think Snake's appearance is giving her a lot of she's dealing with a lot that's coming back to the surface. Maybe she's dug down deep, you know what I mean? Seeing Snake, his abandonment, her fault, there's a lot of abandonment there. And I think honestly the nanomachines are doing their job because she's in an active war zone and there's no time for her to navigate these feelings.
None.
While also working in this.
That's what SOP is for, baby. You can't feel. Just go.
It's also scary. Like I said a second ago that it doesn't change her personality, but the fact that it kind of, quieted her anger, that is really spooky. It's affecting interpersonal communication and relationships.
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, its SOP system is spooky. Anyway, back to what we need to do. Again, where's Liquid Ocelot? He's at
this base camp.
Yep.
Here's his coordinates.
Let's go.
So they're just about to leave. And then all of a sudden, Ed goes up to Meryl. And then he's like, yo, we got a problem. And she's like, yo, what up? She's like, yo, there is like 20 of them coming right at us.
We are surrounded. She turns to Snake and she's like, were you being followed, Snake? He's like, no.
Like, you know me. Look. It's like, look, I know I look old, but you know this.
Bitch, let's be for real.
You know me.
I don't know why they don't turn to Johnny and be like, hello?
So then they turn to Johnny and he's literally like waving his binoculars around. And you see like lens flares going left and right. And he's like, they might have saw this.
You think so?
And then they were like, Johnny, you idiot. do you realize what you've done? And then Johnny's like, what? Huh? And then he like legit has a panic attack. I don't know. I guess his nanomachines aren't like working that good or something, but like Meryl has to like forcefully calm him down.
You don't hear no chime, no anything to quell his fear.
I don't know. Anyway.
But this this group that's surrounding us, we come to learn that they're called the Frogs.
They're Liquid's private unit. So this ain't
a PMC.
This ain't Praying Mantis. This is like Liquid's own thing.
And they're coming after them.
Yep.
Interesting.
Because I think they're aware of the fact that they're being watched, and they don't like that. Meryl also discloses that other Rat Patrols or Rat Patrol equivalents have been taken out in the past.
Okay.
So this is a little dangerous.
So it might not be because of who they are. It might just be because they're Rat Patrol.
Yeah, of what they are.
Yes. Which leads to Liquid's probably doing something shifty.
Yeah, it's something that he doesn't want people to see.
Also, why wouldn't the UN have acted before if they know that their patrol units are being eliminated?
I mean, maybe it was done covertly.
It was a mistake.
It was an accident. What? It was a car crash. Well, a meteor hit the building.
We thought they were a PMC group.
Sorry. You know, these things happen.
Liquid's not so smart. Anyway, now it's a little fight. And this fight's rough for Crystal.
It's a very unique boss fight. I hesitate to call it a boss fight, but it acts as one.
I think it's hard because you have like summons. You have your crew with you fighting.
Yeah, and then you're not fighting like a singular person. You're fighting like a unit of people, and these people are rough.
Women?
Yeah, they're all women for some reason.
Okay. Bad bitches.
They all have the ability to like parkour up onto walls. They could stick onto the walls, into the ceilings.
We can just do that.
Yeah, that's what women can do. That's their superpowers. This is future tech. Like,
well, I mean, Snake's whole thing, camo situation should not work the way it does.
I mean, true. I mean,
but they're a league above.
I feel like that they're like a step above Snake. Snake can't do that crap. So it's Snake, Meryl, Ed, John, and Jonathan.
What's cool with this though is that you see like Meryl and Johnny, even though Johnny's complaining about his stomach, like they're in their prime.
They are.
Meryl is not the Meryl you saw in 1.
She is head honcho.
She's a leader.
Yeah.
And she's working.
She knows what she's doing. Like you could say that like the SOP's like kind of boosting her abilities, but I would argue that like she is matured in a leadership sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, I think even too before this boss fight, you see kind of they get into formation to basically confront this threat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's like a little detail that like I always liked where Snake and Meryl kind of like team up for just a moment, and then like the way that they form up together, it's almost as if like they've worked together in the past, and like they've like this is the sort of thing they've done before, you know?
And I think that's why Meryl's anchor to him is so warranted, because I think their relationship went beyond what we saw in Metal Gear Solid 1, which is why him leaving was probably so...
Would you consider Meryl's relationship to Snake?
I was thinking that.
As...
the boss.
Yeah, right?
And Naked Snake, yes.
It's kind of similar.
And think about Naked Snake always pining for affection from the boss, or always being like, I wanted you to look at me.
Yo, it's like the same thing.
Yep.
Wow, the cycle of trauma continues.
It persists. And until you recognize it and see it, it'll never...
Oh my god. Wow, I never thought of that before.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually really cool. Metal Gear University, baby.
Here you guys go. This is why you come here.
Wow. That wasn't even in our notes. That's cool.
That's what the pining for affection. I mean, it's interesting in the way of I don't know. It visually seeing Meryl touch him and him shove it off we don't see that physically between Naked Snake and the boss, but the same is happening.
It's the same sort of relationship.
Same sort of relationship, and we see the physical reach. For example, when Naked Snake is wounded and reaches towards the helicopter, and she reaches back out, but he doesn't see that.
Yeah.
And in his little realm, he's the one reaching out
Mm-hmm.
for something. So, man, affection. We all need it. We're all humans.
We all crave it.
Affection, connection. It's anyway. But to your point, I think they formed that kind of when they were leaving the little hideout, they had muscle memory to like their routine.
Yeah,
little.
they had like a little thing going.
It was pretty cute. It was pretty cool.
So, as they're going through this building, they're in intense firefights. Now they're on the top level. They got to go all the way down, and every floor is a slog to get through. And of course, on cue, Johnny's like, I gotta go. And everybody's just like, Johnny, no. And Johnny's like, yes, I gotta go. I'm going right now. And then what do you think happens, Kay?
He poops.
He poops.
Like literally in his pants.
He shits his pants. Like he has a brown spot on his ass.
But he's still working. He's still going.
He's trying his best, but goddamn, man, that's bad.
Why wouldn't the nanomachines help him?
I don't know.
Aren't they supposed to help with every type of ailment, whether it's mental or physical?
I bet you his diarrhea is so strong the nanomachines are like, man, we don't know what to do.
That's a...
You got some gas.
I think also with this fight, it kind of shows how Snake should be if this accelerated aging wasn't a factor. Because we see Meryl, it's been 9 years, she's way more experienced, even Johnny's doing his thing. You can imagine that Snake would probably be so fucking skilled.
Oh yeah.
But his body is...
He can't keep up anymore.
Like, even with the suit, he's still an old man.
Yeah. Like, the suit can only do so much.
So I think it's also kind of sad to think about, like, we could have seen him in his prime, and this is a man who's being left behind.
Yeah. And he exists in a world that has no need for him anymore.
Yeah.
Like, even if you think about, like, back when we were talking about, like, the gameplay, like, this is a world that is not meant for a guy like Snake.
The story itself, too, you are infiltrating an active war zone. You're not even the main enemy. No one cares.
Yeah, the world doesn't give a fuck about you. Like, people only care about you because they just don't know who you are.
And you're in the way.
Yeah.
Narratively, a lot of things that just show that Snake's obsolete or becoming obsolete.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible. It's very sad.
Yeah. Well, Snake and the team managed to fight their way all the way down into the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And they clear out the last of the frogs. And as they're kind of cooling down, Meryl is kind of like boasting a little bit, saying like, with, this SOP thing, we could operate as one. We're in sync. Mm-hmm. We're like the shit.
My team knows what I'm seeing. My team knows what I'm feeling. I know what they're up to. We're a unit.
Is that part of the system, too?
With SOP, my team can literally operate as one. So, what do you think? Is your age of heroes finally over?
I'm no hero. Never was. Never will be.
You haven't changed at all, Snake. But... your body... are you gonna be alright?
This getup doubles as a muscle suit. I can still get around.
So, Meryl and her team go their way, and Snake goes through another war zone.
Okay.
Along the way, it's another slog to get through this thing. And this one has like a little bit more verticality. There's like a lot of options for you to sneak past this. It's almost like a hallway in a sense, but it's like a street that has like two like little building sides that you can kind of like crisscross above. But once you reach the end of it, you run across like a bulldozer and a team of people
Okay.
who are, I guess they're trying to like blockade a part of the street. And then all of a sudden, something stops this bulldozer.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a team goes in front, and then you see like this like thing blocking the way.
It's like a machine that's on all fours, and it's metallic and robotic.
And it's like crying. It's kind of like unnerving. And then it just starts like murking people. So as these like PMC people are getting murked by this wolf thing,
This like little robot machine animal thingy.
another one pops out.
Cool.
And this one has tentacles, and it has like the same looking like octo camo that Snake has.
Because it was hidden.
Yeah. And then another one pops out.
Okay, so now 3.
And then this one's like flying, and it's just screaming, and it's like screaming rage over and over again.
I hope there isn't a 4th one.
Oh, there's a 4th one even. And then this one, it looks like it just like mind controls people and like contorts their bodies, and then they die.
Well, so what had happened was one guy was shooting his fellow soldiers,
Uh-huh.
and he started floating in the air. And if you have a keen eye, you see like strings. They're like moving him.
Yeah.
And so Snake's like,
What the hell?
yeah, this is the first one. The other ones he's watching, and he's like, oh my god. But then I was like, oh my god. Just Dominican. But then he looks at this one, he's like, it can't be.
Because it kind of reminds him of like something from before, but it's like
Good save.
Psycho Mantis.
It's operating like Psycho Mantis. It's the same kind of
It's
puppeteering.
interesting. So
What?
this whole unit is just decimating all of these soldiers.
Could we say they're working together, the 4 little machines?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, there's no real teamwork, but they're definitely like a unit, but I feel like they're fighting closer on like a feral level.
And I would say they're operating independently from each other. And it's very much, you hear like a feminine cry, the rage voice is in a woman's voice, the
Yeah.
laughing is feminine.
Yeah, I mean, like they all have like feminine voices, and then they also have like this bellowing, deeper voice that comes out at the same time. It has like a little, like
Like it's like 2 voices layered.
yeah, like it's almost like one is a feminine voice and one is more masculine at the same time.
Okay.
It's
so,
interesting.
I mean, as a player, you're like, okay, this is my
I mean, this is the 4th time round.
I will
we're-
see these things again.
We're used to seeing weirder stuff, to be honest. So we're like, yeah, okay, all right.
So after they decimate this group, they just dip, though.
They just dip.
Okay.
And Snake was just like hiding behind like a car. I don't know how they didn't see him. And Snake was probably wondering that too.
I'm wondering. We all will wonder.
For about 2 weeks. Until the next episode.
This, I didn't realize how much there was actually to digest.
Metal Gear Solid 4 is a lot.
I think the introduction of the older characters, it leads to a lot of discussion on what have they been up to, what's the current relationship to Snake, and what's the plan moving forward. Like, you know, I feel like you can't just throw an old character in, everyone claps and we move forward. You're like, hey, it's been 9 years.
Yeah, like how do they feel? What's going on?
Why are you here now? So I like that Marrow and Old Snake are kind of mirroring that relationship.
It's such a cool like idea that I'm almost like insulted into myself that never crossed my mind before.
I, of course, you know, Naked Snake and the boss had a much more intense relationship from what we're told.
Yeah.
I think with Marrow and Snake, we gotta fill in the gaps. They don't go into like how much more they work together after Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, I mean, but it is an interesting echo of what
An
was done
echo.
before, you know?
I would agree. Echo, yeah, Echo. It's a reference. It's cool also just to see Marrow and Johnny in like, you know, this more recent graphic image.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just cool to like see like, oh my, like I saw her last with no defining facial features, and now this is like a person.
Like you see her. Yeah.
The same hair, which is kind of cute. They made it still like a little flippy, little spiky hair she has. I'm glad though to like, you know, with Metal Gear Solid 4, it's a lot of uh explaining, a lot of just information. It's just cool though we get to see characters when we say for like the last time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is at least in the timeline, this is the final go around. So this is like the series finale, you know?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
everybody's coming back.
Ooh, who else will we see? I'm excited.
As am I.
So next episode, in 2 weeks' time, we will continue with Metal Gear Solid 4. Let us know your questions, your comments. Let us know how we're doing. Of course, send us an email. We are going to make sure we digest this game fully. So again, as always, we might speak out of turn with the game a little bit, but that's only just to kind of make it a little bit.
Think of this almost like a book club, you know?
Yes, I like that. I like that, T. Okay, T, thank you. Good
Thank
episode.
you. Good episode.
Good
guys.
episode. We will see you all next time. Everyone, have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.